You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
From June 17 through 25, Berlin in Germany will host the Special Olympics World Summer Games. The event involves 7,000 Special Olympic athletes and unified partners from approximately 170 countries competing in 24 different sports. They'll be supported by more than 3,000 coaches and an army of 20,000 volunteers. New Zealand's head of delegation to the Special Olympics World Summer Games is Rowena Massey, who joins us now. Hi, Rowena. How many athletes have you got going to the Games from New Zealand?
We have a team of 61 going, 39 athletes and 22 management.
So what sort of sports, what range of sports are our athletes competing in?
So this time we're taking 9 sports, the first time for a 3-on-3 basketball, and that's going to be a unified team. And unified means that there's people without disabilities or intellectual disabilities that are competing alongside our Special Olympics athletes, which is pretty awesome. Then we've also got football, 7-a-side, athletics, equestrian, bocce, powerlifting, golf, swimming and bowling making up the team.
How competitive are these events?
Oh, you can never doubt that competition is in us all. So when you get on the big stage, get to the big dance at times, it comes out in us all. So very competitive. But you also get those athletes that may end up being disqualified, and they still end up with a ribbon, and the smile of joy on their face is just as good as someone winning a gold medal.
Now, I know you've been to a couple of these similar events in the past, Rowena. What's the vibe at these events? I've looked at a bit of promotional material online. It looks amazing. What's the vibe like?
Oh, it is. It blows you away. My first event was Los Angeles in 2015, and you're a volunteer, grassroots clubs, and you go there to a place where it's just full of joy, and you walk into the opening ceremony with 7,000 other athletes and volunteers and hundreds and thousands of people around you and watching you online, and you just feel the joy and the experience that you're going to come home with is just life-changing.
You talked about the unified sports. How important a part of the Special Olympics movement are unified sports?
So unified sports is coming through. It's making sure that our athletes have the opportunities as all other people, like standard mainstream sports do. And by getting into the inclusive world, we're going to find that what we give to them is more than that they may give back to us. It just needs to become the new normal, and there should be people competing alongside. It doesn't matter what sport you play and how skilled you are, there's always a level and an opportunity out there for you.
And do you find that there is a growing acceptance and desire to be involved in a participatory sense in the unified stuff?
I think so, but there still needs to be a lot of education around it, and the more you do, the more it grows. We're very lucky in our area. In Pukekohe, we have Franklin Basketball that is alongside our club in counties, and the team there have been amazing. And you come along there on a Wednesday night when they're playing unified sport, and it's just accepted. It's just natural. It's just people out on the court playing basketball. And that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Of the athletes that are going to Berlin, are there many first-timers?
Yes, pretty much all of them are first-timers except for 2 that have been before in LA. So, yes, it'll be an eye-opening experience for them. And we're flying out on Wednesday, so you can imagine the excitement. We sent the uniforms out last week, so there was a Facebook flurry of photos on there with these proud athletes standing there in their uniforms. So, yeah, it's going to be amazing for them.
Yeah, I was going to say that the excitement must just be palpable as they look forward to what for many of them will be, well, the biggest adventure of their lives to this point, I'm sure. So is it common? You just mentioned there that only a couple are going back for their second one. I guess cost might be a factor, but is it common for athletes to go to multiple events like this?
It sometimes happens, but generally they just apply. We get a quota that we fill based on the sports that we've been given from our region in Asia Pacific, and then we get nominations through from the clubs, and then the athletes are chosen from there. So there might be a couple of times when someone may go, but generally they wouldn't go to a back-to-back sort of World Games. There's got to be opportunities for everyone out there, and it's just making sure that everyone's included as they can be.
How are you funded?
Well, that's a good question. The clubs, basically. So we have 19 amazing clubs throughout New Zealand that are finding $18,000 per athlete to go. This is all done, from the sausage sizzles right through to quiz nights or just anything that they can do. We obviously apply for trust funding, but you're in the pool with a lot of other sports organisations at the moment that are struggling in their own ways. So it's very hard, and this one more so because we've had such a short time frame to be able to raise that money for our athletes to get over there.
All right. Well, heading off on Wednesday, we'll wish you all the best. There's lots of places we can follow the fortunes of New Zealand's athletes online, and no doubt that information will be coming back via social media as well. Rowena, travel safe, have a great time, and thanks for catching us up today on ZB.
We will, and appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Rowena Massey, head of delegation for the New Zealand team, heading to Berlin on Wednesday for the Special Olympics World Summer Games. We certainly wish them all the very best.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.